it's a difficult one because I personally think it's in between. They are not a finished article yet.
Yes.
And it shows spells where they are very good. And there are spells where are looking like not quite. So overall, Chelsea are in between very good and not so good. And it looks like a team that is, as you use in the modern term, cooking. But credit to Enzo Maresca because he's very much set the ball rolling. And Chelsea at the moment are in the top 4, even though we know the points are very close. But they've done well to put themselves there. Yeah. And they have the youngest team in the Premier League when you think about it. And it's coming in lots of players. He has to manage them. So he's doing a great job by the squad that he's got. But in the game, look, I think, and I've always said that Mikel Arteta's problem, or Arsenal's problem, or Mikel Arteta's problem, I should say, is that when he's had to change something, be it personnel or a tactic, it doesn't click. I've never really seen Mikel Arteta's Arsenal change shape, tactic drastically and get things going. And in the last couple of games where he's not had the wins, like the greatest result, by injury or by lack of certain personnel.
Or by design.
Or, not necessarily by design, but by no fault of his, by accident. He's had to remodel the team and play the team in a different way. And he hasn't necessarily got the team playing well. We saw Thomas Partey revert to play right back. It wasn't the best.
Played 2 matches in a row.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. We've seen him try to change the midfield a little bit, get Mourinho going. Mourinho has not really settled. He's not cracked it yet. We've seen him trying to, at times, change the front line, Trossard somewhere. It doesn't work. But in this game, he virtually played, I think, on paper, or the team that are available, or in style, the very Arteta Arsenal we know, with Martin Odegaard back. Played very closely to Saka. Ben White played in his very position so they could form that triangle. Thomas Partey was in central position, so he could affect the Arsenal game. Martinelli could occupy the width, and that is very much Arsenal. But I've always said that Arsenal won't win big things if they've got to rely on Kai Havertz for crucial goals week in, week out. He's a good player. He offers a lot to them in the way they play. But if you want to win, Arsenal don't have that X factor. And for Chelsea as well, Enzo Maresca's team creates very good scenarios. But at times, the personnel who get on the end of it is the problem, because I saw Gusto being the extra man in midfield, got onto the ball a lot of times, got himself into very good positions, but it's just...
It's not influencing...
He just doesn't have it in the final third to decide things. And I think for Cole Palmer...
He ends up in good areas.
Very good areas, because he's the extra midfielder he provides with that midfield box, because he bypasses the base midfield in Caicedo and Lavia, sits alongside Palmer. So the midfield box is Gusto, Palmer, Lavia, and Caicedo. Yeah. And because Palmer is dangerous, midfielders tend to glide towards him. Exactly. Gusto is the free man, but when he picks up the ball...
Concentrated on Palmer.
Yeah, when he picks up the ball, he and Madueke on that side are not necessarily getting it going. And I think that this season, as good as Palmer is, in big games, he's not necessarily influenced.
He has struggled.
We saw against Liverpool, we saw him against Man City. I mean, I understand he hasn't necessarily trained well this week coming into the game against Arsenal. Yeah. But if Chelsea are to click in some of these games, Palmer needs to start playing a lot better than he showed us over the weekend.
Because in reality, Chelsea may be good and they may be third, but so far they've played 4 matches against the top 4. They've lost 2.
Yeah, and those are good games as well. But finally, to wrap it up, and the 2 goals that we saw, I think for Arsenal's goal, is why Odegaard is important. He's the only player in the Arsenal team that sees the space and scoops the ball like he did. Yeah. And that is why they missed them. But again, when you look at Chelsea defensively, Madueke shouldn't have been lazy in behind. He should have been tracking back, because you could see Martinelli free, should have been going there. Yeah. And I think I'll be very disappointed in the goal that Arsenal conceded. A team that prides itself in defending very well. There were a couple of things that they should have done right. I think one, Martinelli should have followed Neto when he was making the run into the space. In there, he didn't. And then, some way, somehow, Arsenal's DM, either in Mourinho or Thomas Partey, were not in position. In the space where Neto played it or took the shot, it should never have happened. It should have been either Partey or Mikel Mourinho sitting on the D to prevent Neto from taking the shot. So the two teams look at the goals they considered and they'll be disappointed that individuals or the system didn't care, because those were avoidable goals.